Somewhere in America right now, a mother is standing in a kitchen, smiling at her children, and assembling dessert with the exact body language of a man cooking meth in a trailer. It's Breaking Bad, except the product is a birthday cake. Working title: The Wife Who Cooks and the Children Who Refuse to Die. And before you call that a stereotype, the ketchup has sugar in it. So does the bread. So does the healthy yogurt, which contains enough sugar to qualify as birthday cake with a gym membership. America is not eating dessert after dinner. America is eating dessert disguised as dinner. I'm Mr.Q, and today, why does a country staring down a diabetes crisis keep eating sugar like the pancreas is an optional subscription service? The answer is not because it tastes good. That's like explaining Las Vegas by saying people enjoy lights. The real story has royalty, a world war, corn subsidies, bought scientists, redlined city maps, and one chocolate bar engineered to taste bad on purpose. Let's unwrap this diabetic onion. The average American eats 130 pounds of sugar a year. That's 2.6 times what the average person in China eats, about 36 sugar cubes a day. Meanwhile, the diabetes chart looks like a rocket launch. 1980, 5.5 million Americans. Today, 38 million. By 2050, a third of American adults are projected to have it. 1/3. At that point, insulin isn't a medication. It's a group project. So how did sugar get this powerful? For most of history, sugar wasn't junk food. Sugar was jewelry. In the 1600s, a pound could cost a laborer half a year's wages. It was edible crypto, expensive, impressive, and owned by people desperate to mention it. Queen Elizabeth I ate so many sweets, her teeth turned black. The nobility, instead of saying, "Your Majesty, please, a dentist," decided black teeth were hot. People who couldn't afford sugar started blackening their teeth to fake it. Because when poor people have rotten teeth, it's a medical problem. When royalty has rotten teeth, it's a lifestyle brand. That flex boarded the Mayflower and got Americanized. Same thing, but bigger. And here's the part your history teacher skipped. Before Britain ever taxed the tea, it taxed the sugar. The Molasses Act. Then the Sugar Act. Colonists were drinking roughly 4 gallons of rum a head per year, and Parliament decided to put a price on it. So they threw the tea in the harbor, but the thing they actually went to war over was sweet. Then World War II turned sugar into survival mythology. Every GI got chocolate bars as emergency rations. The Hershey D ration had 3 requirements from the Army: high energy, light weight, and it must taste, and this is the actual specification, just a little better than a boiled potato. Because if it tasted good, soldiers would eat it before the emergency. Congratulations! Invent chocolate with the emotional warmth of drywall. Millions came home with the habit. By the 1950s, American television was essentially a candy delivery system. But nostalgia doesn't get you to 130 pounds. For that, you need capitalism's favorite trick. Make something absurdly cheap, put it everywhere, then act surprised when everyone eats it. In 1966, Japan patents the enzyme that makes high-fructose corn syrup possible. Corn, the discount understudy to sugarcane. Washington looks at corn and says, "You, star quality." Corn alone pulls in over $3 billion a year in subsidies, 30% of every farm subsidy dollar in the country. By 1984, Pepsi and Coke have both switched over completely. A can carrying 39 grams of sugar becomes cheaper than bottled water. A substance that falls out of the sky for free got price beaten by liquid candy. Inside food companies, the question stopped being, should we add sugar? And became, which room in this building have we not filled with sugar yet? Bread? Sugar. Sauce? Sugar. Granola bars? Are candy bars wearing hiking boots? And your bright, tangy ketchup? A large bottle can carry 200 grams. The craft is balancing sweet against salt and acid, so you never taste sweet. You just taste good. More. Now. It's culinary money laundering. Sugar walks in as itself, changes its name to fruit juice concentrate, and walks out wearing sunglasses. 61. That is how many names sugar is allowed to hide behind on an American label. Evaporated cane juice, brown rice syrup, nectar. One ingredient with an extended family. And added sugar only became its own mandatory line in 2016. 2016. And the labels didn't actually have to appear on shelves until 2021. Before that, shopping was forensic accounting in aisle 7. Organic cane crystals, brown rice syrup, evaporated fruit concentrate. Sir, you are holding a cookie. The result? American kids average 53 grams of added sugar a day. The American Academy of Pediatrics says the ceiling should be 25. So why didn't science stop this? Science tried, science got bought. Through the 1960s and 70s, the Sugar Research Foundation sponsored Harvard scientists to soften sugar's rap sheet and point the finger at fat. Sponsored. Heaviest air quotes I have ever performed. In 1968, an animal study, codenamed Project 259, turned up a possible link between sugar and bladder cancer. Industry response? Cut the funding. Results never published. They didn't argue with the science. They unplugged it. Then, Ansel Keys' 7 countries hypothesis lands. Fat causes heart disease. The planet treats it as scripture. By 1977, the United States Senate has written it into the national dietary goals. Fat. Guilty. Food giants respond exactly the way responsible public health partners always do. Animal fat? Down. Sugar and hydrogenated oils? Up. Then they printed low fat in letters large enough to block out the sun. That's how America built products that were technically low fat, and spiritually, a Pop-Tart. The trap sets in childhood. More sugar, more tolerance, less sensitivity to sweetness, so the dose keeps climbing. Eventually, a real apple tastes like somebody forgot to install the flavor update. Now the part that stops being funny. In California, a diabetic living in a low-income neighborhood is up to 10 times more likely to lose a toe, a foot, or a leg than a patient a few zip codes away. 10 times. Same disease. Same state. Different tax base. And Black and Latino communities die of diabetes at far higher rates than white communities. That's the CDC's own numbers. You can see the machine in any supermarket. $1 gets you a donut. Fried chicken is cheap. Then you reach produce, where apples run $3 a pound and broccoli has a venture capital valuation. Telling someone working 2 jobs to meal prep organic vegetables isn't health advice. It's a podcast hosted by a refrigerator. And this isn't vibes. In June 2024, Diabetes Care, the American Diabetes Association's own journal, published research on what drives diabetes rates. Incarceration, poverty, discrimination, housing instability, education, unemployment, and access to food. The title contains the phrase, historic redlining and structural racism. Lines somebody drew on a city map in the 1930s are still showing up in amputation statistics today. So the loop closes. Sugar was a status symbol. War made it comfort. Subsidies made it cheap. Companies put it everywhere. Marketing made it happiness. Labels gave it 61 fake IDs. The low-fat panic handed it a health halo. Inequality made it the only calorie millions could afford. Then the country looks at the wreckage and asks why nobody just made better choices. Because the choice was made inside a casino designed by food scientists, economists, and ad agencies. And the slot machine accepts taste buds. Nobody woke up one morning and decided to become a giant human candied fruit. America was marinated. Slowly. One soda, one low-fat snack, one fake label, and one subsidized cornfield at a time. So next time you pick up something that says natural, light, or made with real fruit, turn it around and read the back. The front of the package is advertising. The back is where the body is buried. I'm Mr. Q. Subscribe for more stories about capitalism inventing problems that sound like deleted sitcom scenes. And remember, if your salad dressing tastes better than your birthday cake, somebody in a lab has been working overtime.